This is the Ecwid e-commerce show with your host, Jesse Ness, along with Richard Otey.
Hello, RichE. How goes it, man?
It's going well. It's going well. Other than my Padres and your Twins out of the baseball, other than that.
Yep. We're done with baseball. Football's hanging on by a thread as we speak. But and for people listening here, you're probably going to be getting close to, you're probably in the thick of it, like getting ready for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So today, hopefully we're hitting you at the right time with the right message here on getting going with Google Shopping. And RichE, we've talked about Google Shopping a bunch. Like, this is probably several podcasts. And I know there's a couple of you out there that listen to every one, but I know not everybody listens to every single podcast, and I'm so sad. But anyway, we're gonna bring up this topic with a different twist, because there's a ton going on. Google is they're in a battle, and they're bringing out some new stuff. So I'm excited about, and mostly we're bringing up Google Shopping not because we like to hear ourselves talk. It's like the best way for new e-commerce companies to get sales. And I wouldn't say it's the easiest. Like, it's sort of, there are things you need to do to get it going. So, one, it's a great way to get sales. And two, it can be a little difficult. So this is why we keep talking about Google Shopping on some podcasts. So, anyway, let's cut through. Go ahead, RichE.
I was just going to say, to add to that, if we're repeating something, we're usually repeating it for a good reason. We're repeating it because it works, or it's something that's super important and people still forget to do or might not think that it's that important. And so if you're hearing us bringing something up over and over again, it's important to do. Remember when we were kids and our mom told us to eat vegetables? Like, we've come to realize, like, that was an important thing to do. Like, it wasn't always, you heard the same thing over and over again, but we're trying to give you things that will help your business. And, this is just definitely one of those that's highest on the list. Yeah,
good point. The whole reason you're listening to this podcast, at least I hope, I don't think we're that entertaining. The reason you should be listening to this podcast is because you want to take your business forward. You want to get some sales. And this is why we keep bringing it up. This is going to be probably the best way to get sales for e-commerce. This is how the big boys are doing it. This is how you should be doing it. So, all right, let's get into some Google Shopping. Let's bring in our guest. This is Ricardo Lassa. He's the CEO of Kliken, and actually a return guest. So, Ricardo, how you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me. Good to see you guys again.
Of course. I know. You and I speak on the phone probably every couple of weeks for calls. But for the people listening, it's probably been a year or two since we had you on. So happy to have you back. Now, we're bringing you back for several reasons, but one, you really know what's going on with Google. You talk with them way more than anybody else I know. A lot of cool stuff going on there. Let's talk about some of the new things going on with Google, I guess. Like, can you kind of fill us in on the Google My Business and Google Local world first?
Sure. Yeah. So Google My Business, obviously becoming the leading platform, I would think, for local. While in the past, when you thought about local listings, you might thought of, about Yelp or, some of those platforms. Now, obviously, Google is by far the largest source of local information, right? So if you want to go to a restaurant, before, many years ago, you might have thought about Foursquare or things like that, or maybe Yelp, and now everything is Google, right? So Google is doing a fantastic job at mapping the local searches and the local intent to the Google My Business engine, and really growing it as well, to where it's not just a listing anymore. Like before, it was just kind of like a listing, like a very simple thing. But now, you can actually have offers in there, actually directly tied with Ecwid and your customers. You can have a coupon every month that actually goes on Google My Business, and it's becoming more and more almost like a two-way communication mechanism. While in the past it was only a one way, the end users will find you and kind of go to your store. Now Google is providing tools also, you as a merchant, to go back to your customers, right? And actually say, hey, these are my offers. This is my new schedule. Like, let's say that you have a special schedule for the holidays. Again, this is a coupon that you can use, and so forth. And all very tied as well with calling the business, going to the business. The numbers are actually truly outstanding. For local searches to actually going to the store and purchase, it is a huge influence on the purchase behavior. So anyway, really excited what Google is doing on that side with reviews. For example, the reviews are critical on the rankings, and I love that. Personally, I've been always a little bit against SEO, to be honest with you. That's why actually we built Kliken, right? Because you can guarantee results. And I love the fact now that a lot of the organic rankings from Google come from reviews. So I think that's actually fair, right? If you have a good company, you cannot link farm that. You cannot hire somebody to fake reviews, and it's difficult, right? So it's actually great that they're using that as a proxy for a high quality business. But I think it's going to be really exciting with a lot of the developments also happening post COVID. And I know that you on Ecwid have done tremendous great things for the end store owners, like curbside pickup, delivery, to help them during these times. So with the context of local search on Google My Business, plus having the ability to go and do pickup, curbside pickups and things like that, I think it's just a great addition to the mechanisms and the marketing that the users are using now. Yeah.
Actually, that's kind of an extra tip for everybody too. Like, don't ignore those that Google My Business. Like, you can edit that, you can set it up, you can have reviews there. And I've been seeing a ton of Google commercials for like Google helping small businesses. And when you see these commercials, and they're getting heavy rotation in, football and baseball. I guess it's the only time I really see commercials. But that's Google My Business, when they see like find businesses near me and they show the little curbside pickup stuff. So everybody who's listening, that's Google My Business. You have to claim that. It does connect to your store. And so just kind of a little extra tip here from our Google connection, Ricardo. And then I wanted to there's this other term out there, Google Surfaces. I sort of understand it, but maybe you can kind of shed some light into it. Like what the heck is Google Surfaces?
Sure. So another great initiative that Google has pushed out because of COVID, and they really are doing a lot of things with having the small businesses' best interest at heart and really helping, was opening up the Google shopping engine. In the past was all paid advertising, basically, like all the ads that showed up in Google Shopping were all paid. But through this new program that Google announced in April about free listings and getting traffic on both Google Surfaces and in the shopping tab, now they allow companies to actually get organic traffic, basically non-paid traffic in both Surfaces and the shopping tab. So what is Surfaces? That's a good question. It actually encompasses many surfaces from Google. That's why it's actually called Surfaces. Basically what that means is that your products might show up in searches on, for example, Google Images or even Google Search itself. So not the shopping tab. So the biggest difference really is the shopping tab is what Google calls enhanced listings. So the technical term is enhanced listings. And basically those are the listings that you could see on shopping that are not paid. And they're only on the shopping tab of Google. However, though, your products might show up in other places, like I mentioned, like image search or actual regular search in other places, and that's powered by the Surfaces engine. So they're a little independent, but kind of same concept.
Got it. Now, the key thing I heard there is this is free organic traffic from Google. So everybody likes free traffic. As much as we do a lot of paid search and paid traffic, there was some free traffic there. So I saw RichE light up as well. Everybody likes, we want to get some free traffic. You don't want to pay for everything.
I mean, the only time we don't like traffic is when we're driving on the road, right? Other than that, when it comes to business, we like traffic, especially free.
Yeah, I like the free. And now when this was announced in April, like this was kind of they've changed the name on this a little bit. Like this was the free organic, free listings kind of there's a bunch of terms that were thrown out, free organic shopping listings. I know I'm butchering that a little bit. But now let's kind of dive into the meat of it here is the Google shopping. Actually, Ricardo, since you do this all the time, maybe you can kind of give a walkthrough of like, if you wanted to do this on your own, what would the steps be for a merchant to set this up? Because it is possible, but if you want to go outline the steps that somebody would go through.
Sure. Yeah. So there's a bunch of steps. So first step is that you need to get a Google Merchant Center set up for your business, right? So you will have to go on Google, get a new Merchant Center account, get that basically get your store approved for Google Merchant for the Google Merchant Center. That requires a bunch of steps. So that's not just one simple step. You need to have your store verified. So that means that you will need to take a meta tag and place it on the store manually, and then tell Google, and hopefully Google gets it and hits it. Then you need to get set up all your policies, like shipping policies, refund policies, return policies, your shipping methods, your payment methods, your contact information, readily on the website. Then that has to be approved one by one. So if any of them fail, you cannot go live. And then once you have accomplished all that, then you need to generate a feed for your products manually, probably like get a CSV file on your computer and get it there, then set it up, update it on your own, or hopefully, set up a scheduled task to do that of some sort. And if you do all that, then you would be able to put the products on Google Merchant Center, basically, through a fairly laborious, intensive process that then also you have to keep on doing. So this is not a one-timer. It's not like you just do it one time and you're done. You need to keep all the products up to date, because obviously if you change prices on the store, they have to be changed with Google. And if Google actually crawls the stores, so they actually do find price discrepancies. And if that happens, they shut down your listings and things like that, right? So it has to be a very dynamic process daily. I would say minimums daily that you have to do that. And then if your products don't get approved over a period of time, then your account is going to be disapproved anyway. So it's actually, it can be done, but it would be a little bit like if you want to cross the pond on an airplane, and you don't have autopilot, and you have one pilot, and you have to go back and forth all the time. So
yeah,
it makes your life very difficult. Yeah,
for sure. And that also assumes you set up all your products correctly, and you had a SKU, and you had all the weights and things like that. Like, it's a fairly involved process. So for the people that are the hackers listening, you can do this. Like, go nuts. It's available. A lot of people can do it. Now, Ricardo, I know I'm going to lead you in here. There must be a better way, though. What can people that heard that list and said, I really don't want to do that, what do we have for them?
Yep. So we did a beautiful integration between Google, Ecwid, and Kliken to make that basically seamless, right? Yeah. So you basically select through a very simple step in the UI. You select, your store categories, the products that you want to be shipped to Google Shopping, and literally in no time, it takes the customers like less than 10 minutes to set it up. Then we hold you hand by your hand all the way to get it live. So we generate the Merchant Center automatically. We claim it automatically. We take a look at all the inventory, make sure it has all the proper attributes. If they don't, we surface it. If once you actually when we submit to Google Shopping, if there's any issues with your store, let's say that you're missing a refund policy, we surface it. We send you emails about it. Hey, you're missing a refund policy. This is how you get it up and running. And then once we guide the customer through the whole process of doing this, and the shop is live, then they start getting traffic from Google for free, depending on what regions in the world they are. Actually, the US right now is actually driving more traffic than other places, but towards the end of the year, it's going to be everywhere. And then all the inventory management going forward is fully automated. So that's a great thing about the deep integration we have with Ecwid, right? If you change your inventory in the store, we know, and we push it to Google. If you run out of inventory, so like some products you're done, then we take them out so they're not on Google listings. So we actually keep that all in sync automatically daily. So it completely automates all that. And then finally, if you want to do search, like if you actually want to buy ads, like shopping ads and search ads, you can do it also in the same. Once you're approved in Google Shopping, it literally is just a 10-minute process to say, okay, I want these categories on shopping ads and smart shopping campaigns, and they go, and it's an incredibly powerful combination of free organic traffic and paid, really smart AI-driven traffic to maximize the sales that you're getting from Google. So we simplify everything. We built a great integration between all the teams, and happy to bring it to the Ecwid customers.
So correct me if I'm wrong here, but it sounds like, reading between the lines, you didn't actually say it, but you help people get approved too, and you're letting them know, like when you said, hey, you need a refund policy or you need this. So you're helping them through the approval process. And then as they make changes to their business, there's nothing new that they have to do. Your software or your API is going to help fix that, and it'll correct it in the Google Shopping?
Correct. Yeah. So especially when it comes to inventory. So like as you add new products, you delete old products, you change products, like you update products, you change pricing, you add a new category of products, all that automatically gets pushed. So it is once you're set up, the maintenance of the inventory sync between Google and the store is fully automated.
So basically what I'm hearing then is they can go free or they can go headache free with Kliken.
I never thought about it. That's we should be called that. We should be called an aspirin. We're like,
hey, just in case, go ahead, use it.
I think RichE's pitching for a marketing job there, Ricardo.
Okay, I have to say, I love that line. That's great.
Go ahead, take it away.
Yeah. So now the beginning of this process. So this is like a managed service, almost like an agency, because some of this stuff, it's not like a computer can't do this. Like you have actual people that are working with you. Is that correct?
It's correct. Although I have to admit, most of it is AI driven. So okay. When you think about an agency, we call it AIFM instead of the IFM, right? So a lot of it's AI driven. Okay. A lot of the massaging of the data is AI driven. With that said, we have support, and especially on the onboarding process, for sure there, Jesse, it's a little bit like a managed onboarding, right? If you have any issues, we have support. We can help you navigate all that. We email you, we talk to you, you have a phone number you can call. And then once you set everything up, that's why I'm saying it's a little bit like AI driven. That's where the AI takes over, and then it really manages everything automatically. And that's why we can keep the prices so low and so competitive, because the heavy lifting post onboarding is all done through software.
Got it. So how much does it cost for the service?
It's the whopping $10 a month.
Okay. All right.
The price of a beer.
Yeah, pretty much is now. Yeah. So, okay. And that's what I meant. Early on, it's a managed service because there's a lot of back and forth to get it going. And then after that, it's a little more automated and AI driven. So
correct. Yep.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I have set these things up before. I would gladly pay $10 a month to take care of that headache. Yes, it can be very painful. Okay. So got it. So you get this set up. Let's pretend, how long does it take to get set up on average to get you live on Google Shopping? What's the time frame there?
Well, I mean, if you're doing it by hand, it's probably like a long time. It's very complex. with us, it's between 5 business days to 10 business days, depending on if you already have pretty much everything you need, like if you have the return policies and things like that, it takes about 5 days to review and get the process done. If you don't, then it takes 10. And obviously it depends a little bit on the store owner themselves, because if you need a refund policy, well, they have to put one up, right? So they have to be motivated to do that. But yeah, I would say the average is between 5 to 10 business days.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. If you tell somebody, hey, you have to post this information on your site, and they don't do it, well, it's going to take a little longer,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, makes sense. So, okay, so somebody goes through the process. They're on it. They get going in 5 days, a little bit more, whatever. If they have some problems, then what's the process? So, right, like maybe do people usually try to see what they can get from free traffic first? Or do people go advertise right away? Like, what's the usual process?
That's a great question. I think there's like three main like paths that we see. One is the organic traffic path, where they go and they get on Google Shopping, and then they start seeing some visits and sales and so forth. And it's kind of like a shorter period of time. And then later on they buy ads. So that we also see there's a huge percentage of the users that start organic and then they enhance the traffic with ads. However, as on Ecwid, you can buy at the moment of purchase, you can also buy a shopping campaign at the same time. So just basically give me free listings, give me free traffic, and then a campaign all in one. And a significant group of people actually do buy that. They do that. And then there's like another group that's a little bit more, it's a little bit different. So they try to go on Google Shopping, but they don't qualify, right? And you don't qualify, and there's many reasons why you might not qualify. So for example, you cannot sell services on Google Shopping. And it could be that somebody's using the Ecwid store to actually have a catalog of services, right, and things like that. Right? So actually, you see a group of people, and that doesn't fit that well into the Google Shopping engine, but then they can buy search ads. So that goes back to the old SEM, Google, keyword, old AdWords type of platform. So it's like kind of three main groups. I would say that the services group that I was discussing is a very small percentage. It's probably like a less than 5%. 95% go both on so 95% go on the free side, and then I would say maybe 20 to 25% buy ads. So yeah, we do see a lot of people though buying at the time of purchase, buying both ads and free at the same time.
Okay, so now Ricardo, like you see a ton of Ecwid merchants. So I mean, I don't know, probably thousands. So for people that sign up and do they're just looking for the free traffic. They just want the free organic traffic. They sign up, they do everything. What kind of numbers are you seeing on I'm sure it depends on a million different things, but on average, what are people seeing for like clicks per month from the Google Shopping tab? Yeah,
sure. So if they get approved, that's probably obviously the first step, because you have to get approved, and they have to have everything. Once they get approved, the vast majority of customers do see clicks. So the good thing is like the vast majority see between 10 to 100 clicks a month. So it's actually a pretty good number. And then we see about 25% of the users that actually see sales pretty right away, like in the first 30 to 45 days. So so I would say for a kind of like an organic platform with a very low cost of maintenance, it is a no-brainer. Actually, if you think about it from a cost per click perspective, and we actually have done that analysis, so we actually think $10 automation fee for 100 clicks, you're in the cent range, and it's just a great value. But I would say almost everybody sees clicks. About 50% see a significant amount of clicks, and by that I mean hundreds per month. And then about 25% see sales and so forth in the first month.
Okay. Good. And that's first month. So
that's first month.
There's a big difference between, eventually everyone will get some sales if you can stick it out,
Exactly. It's like, and Google is great at that too. So they actually they give you the better you perform, the more traffic they give you. Right. So, so that's,
Yeah. And even so, just doing the math for everybody here, even if you get 10 clicks, that's $1 a click. That's not, it's not a great number, but it's not a crazy number either. It's still, it's about average, right? If you get 100 clicks, you're at 10 cents anymore. You just don't get 10-cent clicks in an area that's I guess good qualified traffic, right? Where they were actually looking for your product, they typed it in, not just it's not a random click. So anyway, that makes sense from there. And now we didn't, I don't know if we went into what the Google Shopping tab is all that much. So for people that are since this is a podcast and, think of when you Google stuff, there's the little tabs underneath the search bar and there's one labeled shopping. That's Google Shopping. It's gotten a ton better than what it was even a few years ago, mostly because they're putting in free listings now. These used to be only paid, which, it kind of eliminates, half the people out there, if not more. So anyway, just everybody picture, that's when we say the Google Shopping, tab, that's where it is on Google. And Ricardo, is there anybody you've seen that maybe is having more success now with this Google Shopping tab than they did with what used to be Google Shopping a year ago when it was all paid? Is there anybody that's wow, I don't know, it's uncovered some new method for them? I don't even, anybody that's found unexpected success with this?
No, I would say across the board. Because in the past it was all paid, right? So you actually had to be running ads at all times. So now the fact that you actually, I think there's two macro things that have happened. One is that Google is really doing a fantastic job at promoting e-commerce inside the Google engine. So Google Shopping is becoming a spot. If I think myself 3 years ago, it was rare that I would go on Google Shopping to find a product. Well, right now it's almost my immediate, approach to Google Shopping and see what's going on, and see what products there are and what the pricing looks like and everything else. So that is a huge trend. That just because of that, obviously Google is a fire hose, right? If they point that fire hose to something, you're gonna get a lot of great traffic there. So that's one side, and then the fact that it's organic and paid together also is great. So the maximum success we're seeing is for people that are doing both. So you have the free listings up and running, and you're running some smart shopping at the same time, and then that's where you see a almost like a 2 + 2 = 5, right? So you see a lot of synergy between one side and the other one, and the Google engine also getting a lot of data points on the organic side and the ad side to be able to serve everything better. So we're seeing actually a pretty significant uptick across the board for our customers. It definitely is making a difference.
So for those people who were using just the Google Shopping feature of yours and then decide that they want to go into doing the paid ads, is there any additional things they need to do, or is this kind of included in the initial setup? And do you help them craft the ads, or do you give them any data maybe on how people searched, or how does that work as far as what they do next with the creation of the ads? Yeah,
so exactly the same process is fully automated. You already are one step ahead because you already are in Google Shopping. So normally when they only had ads, the biggest roadblock was to get them on Google Shopping. Like once Google Shopping was up and running, serving the ads and making the ads is quite straightforward. So anyway, because you've already been approved for the free side, you're already ready to hit the ground running. And then the way it works is the ads. We auto-generate the ads and generate the feeds and things like that. So it's basically almost the identical process. It's the same. It takes no time. It takes less than 5 minutes to go through it, and then we automate the optimization, right? So the other big thing with ads is it's not so much the onboarding only, but okay, then how are you using my money? I'm spending $500. How you actually using it in the best feasible way, and that's actually where we use a lot of AI technology to make sure that actually that is the best return on investment. On average, on the Ecwid platform, we're seeing about an 8 ROAS, 8 times ROAS. So for every dollar people put in, they get $8 out, and that is all fully automated. The next iteration of a platform that we're building right now, we actually call it Store AI, because it puts a brain on the store, and that does a little bit where we're talking about RichE. That actually now not only allows you to market, but tells you what you should be marketing in to maximize your output. And that is actually sounds very intuitive, but actually especially for stores that are at scale, it's a little counterintuitive. Because when you think, okay, so you have a lot of products and you have 20% that are selling great, and 50% are selling okay, and then 30% are not really selling. If you were going to deploy marketing, what is your best marginal return, right? I mean, do you put money behind the ones that are selling great? Do you put money behind the ones in the middle, or you put money in the ones that never see any traffic at all? And actually, like you're not rotating the inventory, right? So that is actually a very different analysis that's perfect for machines. Like it is almost like a perfect optimization problem for machine learning. So that's where we're going, to be able to actually recommend not only to the campaigns, but say, hey, you should be putting, for example, we call it dark side of the moon campaigns, because they're products that never see any traffic. So then you don't know if they're good or bad. They never see traffic. So you don't know if you can sell these products or not, because they actually never get traffic. Yeah. So you should do a discovery campaign on those products only, and see how well they perform, and then decide what bucket they go into and things like that. So that's coming this year.
That's
2021.
That's the beauty of having it connected and using the AI. Is I used to think about that when I ran some retail stores for a while, ways back, and I used to always think like the difference with digital and a retail store is you would have to completely reconfigure the store. But I would think, let's say, for instance, Coca-Cola and Pepsi are in the middle aisle. It's at eye level because everyone wants to buy that. And it's like, well, Coca-Cola and Pepsi also have a lot of marketing dollars, and people will look for Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Like, what if you put something else that didn't have that exact placement for that? So this is a beautiful way to test it and figure it out probably pretty quickly using the AI too. Sure.
Yeah, we're super excited about it. I think it's going to be a tremendous step forward in marketing.
Yeah. And for people listening that are, if you're doing advertising, you know that there's AI is kind of taking over on the Google and Facebook ads. So while yes, you can do that yourself, AI is kind of taking over, but like you don't necessarily know what products, as Ricardo was saying, like the products that aren't selling well, you're going to ignore those. You're not even going to put those out there to let Google's AI take over. So it is helpful to have, you need help right now to advertise. Like I'll just say it that way. Like, even though that's what I do for a living, I know that I'm basically teeing up the AI to do the heavy lifting for me. I'm just kind of, I'm feeding the information to the AI. So this is kind of doing the same thing. And that number, 8 ROAS, if you don't know what that means, that's a good number. I'll just say it that way. Like it's good. Usually
that's the average.
Yeah, that's the average. Because usually, people are usually happy to get 4, right? So you spend $1 to get 4 back. And then that's usually, what's that, a 25, that's 25% of your margin right there, if I'm doing the math right. But, when you get an 8 ROAS, then there's a lot of money left over for you for profit, which is kind of the whole point here. You're not just selling to get your money back. So anyway, 8 ROAS, good. AI, good. It is a very simple thing to sign up there. Ricardo, I was also wondering about like kind of on these other products or verticals, there's some products on the low end that maybe they can't really afford advertising. Are they seeing some success now with free listings? Like if you have a product that's $4 or something like that, it's going to be pretty tough to advertise and make a profit. But like, are they doing better on free listings right now? Have you seen anything like that or anything surprising?
So, we see obviously like the thing with free listings is that you get traffic regardless, right? So and it's free if it qualifies, if there are searches. So it really makes those low margin products probably much easier to sell and to make some money on them. With that said, I think an overall merchandising strategy that we see across the board, and you guys I'm sure have seen it like everywhere as well, is when you have some of those $4 products or RichE products, you just bundle them a little, right? So like now your price per order is like, you bundle 4 for $10 or something. So now you're actually selling a $10 one shot, and hopefully you're getting in there. But that's an interesting question. We've been actually working a lot on that side of it, on the Store AI part. Margins are directly related to the marketing strategy. So like if you have high volume, low margin items, right, you should treat that marketing campaign differently than a low volume, high margin. And then how you actually think about what marketing to deploy towards those. So that's actually, it's at the true heart of what we're doing with Store AI.
Got it. Yeah. Pretty exciting to see that roll out. Just because I've seen it, like if you have some expensive products, some cheap products, like right now, if you're doing it yourself, the answer would be block all those low margin product, all those low dollar products from being seen at all, because you don't want to pay for the clicks, right. But if you had some help, you had some AI on your side, there are ways to market those and merchandise those. So yeah.
Sure. Yeah, because with automation,
I'm really excited to see how this develops.
Yeah, so a way to think about it is this. If let's say that you're spending $500, right, and you have all your products, you're going to do exactly what you're saying. You're going to say, well, I'm going to take all these products. I'm not going to even try this. But if you have a really easy way to automate a campaign, you could say, hey, look, I'm going to put the low margin products on a $150 campaign or $100 a month, and just run low margin products and see how it performs. See if I can get it to break even. Because that's the other thing that you never know. Like the sense is like people, since nobody's advertising them, the auctions might actually be inexpensive, and suddenly you advertise them very effectively on their own. So it's actually a really interesting way to look at it, and going forward, I think there's going to be a lot of progress on that side.
Very cool. RichE, we're getting close to our time here. Any last questions you'd like to ask?
Gosh, this is one of those podcasts where it's tough to get off. I feel like I could just pick in your brain forever, Ricardo, but it's coming up. Like we have a little bit of a backlog. So this is probably going live. If you're listening to this now, this is probably mid-November-ish. Well, again, it's depending on when you're listening. But that's probably when it's going to go live. So, I would just say so you said $10 to get started on this, $10 a month to get started on this?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So this is just really a matter of just getting it going, because there was nothing in there. There's a few things in life where you say, is that too good to be true? Like, am I missing something? Is there something we didn't cover? Like, I think from what I could gather based on what you said, it's that the way you attach the AI to it, you're able to help people through the beginning and keep this low price because, you're more hands-on in the beginning, but moving it towards AI and the machine aspect of it later, like it's a little more hands off. And that's one of the reasons why you're able to keep it low. So, really, I would just say, like, let's get going on this, Jess. Like, this is amazing. Listeners should just be hanging up the podcast by now and just going and getting started. What's the way people can get started? That's what I would actually say. Like, what's the fastest way? Via the control panel, or how should someone get started with this?
Yeah, via the control panel, there's two different ways. There's under the marketing section, Google Ads, I believe, and under the channels section, I think it's Google Shopping. They both lead to the same place, and you're going to enter a process that's going to be very simple, like Ricardo said. So, it's right in your control panel. Get your products up there, click into there. It's $10 a month. And if you're listening to this when we think you are, Cyber Monday, Black Friday's coming, the holidays are coming, you can still get this going. And, but you have to get after it like right now. So hopefully it's timely for everybody. I'm always excited about having guests on that have like a kind of a simple way for people to get going, right? Like, e-commerce can be hard if you don't have any help or advice. So this is the help and advice. So I hope everybody is out there taking it. Ricardo, any last thoughts you want to add for our listeners?
No, super excited to be doing this and having jointly thousands and thousands of customers on the platform and seeing the success we're seeing for our customers and Ecwid. It's the most rewarding thing for me, honestly. Like we built this to make small business successful, and it's super exciting to see that it works, and just hope that we can bring more to the party, right? So do the same thing for other platforms and bring more AI to simplify things. But I've been always loving the collaboration between Ecwid and Kliken, and just excellent. So really excited. Thank you for having me. It's been great.
All right, Ricardo, thanks for being on the show. RichE, thanks as always. For anybody out there listening, you know where to go. Get in the control panel, get out there, and make it happen. Bye-bye, everybody.
Okay.
Hey, this is Jesse and Rich. We want to let you know we really appreciate you listening.
We hope you find the tips we give you helpful for growing your business.
You can find all of our past episodes and a lot more useful stuff at ecwid.com/podcast.
And also, check us out on your favorite podcasting platform like Apple Podcast or Stitcher. And make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing.
Be sure to let us know what you think by rating and reviewing so we can serve you better.
So subscribe on your favorite platform.
And come join our community, check out the transcripts, or tell us why you would be a great guest at ecwid.com/podcast.